Hello everyone and welcome to today's science lesson. Our topic for today is of course the human body, which is the unit 1 as you know. And which part of the human body? So respiratory system, which is the second section. So by the end of this lesson you will able to describe how the respiratory system works, explain a simple model of breathing, and understanding breathing involves two stages: breathing in and breathing out, measuring breathing rate and record the results, use evidence to explain how exercise affects breathing. So let's begin. Bismillah. The respiratory system. The human body, the human respiratory system, contain three parts, of course. These are the parts, respiratory system parts. Two lungs, a tube between the mouth and nose to the lungs, of course, and a muscle in the chest, under the lungs. We need them for contracting and relaxing this muscle to help breathing. So, by the way, we have to know some things. Why do you breathe? So, why? What happens inside your body when you breathe in or breathe out? What happens? So now just take a deep breath in. Okay? Now slowly breathe out. Did you notice how your chest moved? If you haven't noticed this, or if you didn't think about this, just repeat it and think about and notice that, focus on your chest, how it will move when you breathe in and when you breathe out. Just repeat it and you will see how does it change. So two lungs, as you see in this picture, these are, and this is the tube, the air moves inside, and also this is the muscle I said under the lungs for help to breathe. Okay, so as I said that, just take a deep breath in, then breathe out. You will just feel these movements in your body. So breathing actually is something we do all time without thinking about this. You will never think, okay, let me just breathe, I need this or something like that. Continuously, this is something that normal. Continuously you are breathing every day without thinking about this. For example, if you want to move something, if you want to do something around yourself, you will think about this. What should I do? I will move this or something like that. But for breathing, it's not like that. It's like heartbeat. It's continuously happen and without thinking about this. And this is one of the most important processes that keep us alive, of course. Respiratory system. As I said, that respiratory system made of these three parts. It helps us breathe. So it brings oxygen into the lungs, into the body. It means, of course, for the lungs, and also removes carbon dioxide. It means, that is the point. Why do we need respiratory system? Why do we need breathing? For this reason, to take oxygen and for removing carbon dioxide in our body. So, what about the lungs? The lungs are like stretchy sponges that they located in the chest and they protected by the ribs. It means they are inside the rib cage. They will be protected by the ribs. As you see here, inside the ribs, you can see the lungs, and this is the lungs, how the air enters and goes out. Breathe in and breathe out. That's how this process happens. So here's something that you have to know. The respiratory system, we need to breathe like 16 times per minute. It means normally we are breathing 16 times per minute. Normally, guys, this is for someone normal. Like some people are like tired or like they are working, they are exercising, whatever else. When their body will be more active, they need more oxygen. So their breathing rate, the number of the breathing per minute will increase. And when your body will decrease, the activity in your body will decrease, you don't need much oxygen like previous, like when you're active. So the amount of breathing will decrease. So there is something else that you have to know. What are the differences between breathe in and breathe out? What happened during breathe in and breathe out? These are the differences. Of course, if you just focus on this, you see when it takes air, how the chest moves, and when it removes, how it moves again. So just focus, and also I will show you the differences now. Then you can just compare this written here, these two sides, to the movement. So you see air enters through the nose or mouth, mouth just like pass down through the windpipe, of course, here into the lungs, but in here the air goes out, of course, and also the diaphragm, the muscle under the lungs, you see the muscle contracts and moves downward. When you breathe in, the muscle comes down, but what about the breathe out? When you breathe out, it will relax and move upward. By the way, there are some here are very easy actually for understanding, because they are all opposite. Like exactly when you say breathe in, air enters the body. When you breathe out, air leaves the body. When you breathe in, the diaphragm contracts and moves downward. When you breathe out, the diaphragm relaxes and moves upward. So you see, they are just completely opposite. And also, when you breathe in, the ribs move upward and outward. Just look at this. When it takes air, the ribs goes upward and outward. When you breathe out, it will go downward and inward. It means opposite. And another one, the chest becomes larger and the lungs fill with air. Just look at this. When it takes air, you see the chest gets larger. You see, it becomes larger. What about when you breathe out? Of course, it will get smaller, and the air inside the lungs will go out. So these are the differences between breathe in and breathe out. So simply, if you just take a deep breath and then breathe out, you will just feel all of them. Like air in, when you breathe in, air enters the body. When you breathe out, air leaves the body. When you breathe in, the diaphragm goes down and contracts. When you breathe out, the diaphragm relaxes and goes upward. When you breathe in, the chest gets bigger. When you breathe out, the chest gets smaller. When you breathe in, the ribs will go upward and outward. When you breathe out, the ribs will go downward and inward. So these are some differences that you can just simply notice when you take a deep breath in and out, of course. So breathing rate, here is something else. We call this breathing rate. This number is the breathing rate. Breathing rate is the number of breaths in and out in a minute. It means you cannot say this is 1, taken out, this is 2. So breathe in is 1, breathe out is 2. No, one breathe in and out together will count as 1. It means you will breathe in and breathe out 16 times per minute. That is the breathing rate for a normal person. As I said, when you are active, it will be more. It means your breathing rate will go up, will raise, okay? And when you will not be active, your activity will decrease. Of course, the breathing rate will decrease. So that was about the breathing rate, the differences between breathe in and breathe out. Of course, the breathing rate is the number of breathe in and breathe out. How many times you breathe in and breathe out in a minute. So let's talk about the respiratory system and oxygen. So when we breathe in, oxygen gases from the air, as you know that when you take air goes into the body, in the air moves into the tiny blood vessels in the lungs. From there, blood carries this oxygen to the heart at the same time. And then the heart will pump to the body, of course. At the same time, the carbon dioxide, which is like a waste, the body collected and give it to the heart will send it to the lungs. So this carbon dioxide will exit from the blood vessels into the lungs and it will come back to the lungs. Then we breathe it out when we exhale. It means when we breathe out, we will take out remove carbon dioxide from our body, we can say simply. So, and something else that you have to know, like mammals and birds use lungs, like human, of course. You see this bird and this is mammal, of course. They have lungs like us. I mean, some other animals have them, of course. And also fish, they use gills for breathing, taking oxygen from the water. And also the insects, they will breathe in through their tiny holes, you see, in their body. Tiny holes called spiracles. And also we have something else I want to show you. It's not, it has not been mentioned in the book. The lungs, the right side of the lungs, you see the right side made of 3 lobes and the left side made of 2 lobes. And right side is larger than the left side. Why? So I will just leave this question for you. Why is the right lung is larger than the left lung? So I will leave this question for you. Just you can answer. So let's just summarize it, and then I'm just gonna give an investigation, an activity. I'm gonna tell you to do it and record the result. So let's summarize the lesson. By the way, just before summarizing, you know what? You have seen the other animals. They have lungs and gills or whatever else they have it for their breathing. It means all animals need it, guys. All the animals need breathing because this is essential for living. So let's summarize the lesson. Let's summarize this lesson, which is about the respiratory system. As you know, that the respiratory system helps us to breathe in oxygen, as we said, and breathe out carbon dioxide. When we breathe in, we get oxygen. When we breathe out, we will get rid of the carbon dioxide. And also the lungs, diaphragm, and chest, the chest muscles work together in breathing, of course. Breathing makes the chest larger, as we mentioned in the differences between breathe in and breathe out, and breathe out make it smaller. A balloon, of course, there is an activity in the book that you can just use a balloon to understand. For example, like taking a balloon filled with air, it's going to be larger, like what do you call, like the lungs. Then when you let the air to go out, exactly like the lungs will get smaller. And exercise increase your breathing rate, because as I told you that normally it's 16. When you exercise it will be more. When you will be less active it will be less, because your muscles need more oxygen when you are active. And the different animals have different ways for getting oxygen. As we talked about this, we said the fish use the gills for breathing, we use lungs, the insects use spiracles. So of course they need them to survive. Actually, respiratory system is kind of simple. It like seems simple, but it's essential. By the way, you have to know we need it to be alive. So that is our today's lesson. I will just have an activity for you. I want you to record your breathing rate. As you know, what's the breathing rate? The number of breathing per minute. How many times you breathe in and breathe out per minute. So just record your breathing rate, I mean, when you are normal. Then do an activity for like 5 to 10 minutes. Then record it again exactly after finishing the activity, when you will be done. And take a rest for like 30 minutes and do another, record another breathing rate. Just see how is it changing. How does your breathing rate change according to when you're active, when you're normal, or when you take rest. And after activity you will get normal after 30 minutes, of course. So check these numbers and you can just write in the comment for us. Let's see does it change or not. So best wishes.